Here we have
OMG.
two stock Furbies grieving over the corpse of one of their
Stop boo. No way.
recently vivisected buddies.
Hey, Unai Dulu. Easy, Lulu. Hey, Unai Dulu. OMG. You? Really? Huh? Hate? What? Do you joke? Yeah, Mela Toto.
Now, believe it or not, the Furbs communicate
Oh yeah, Unai, bye-bye, Nula.
via ultrasonic.
Oh yeah, you go, Nula.
And they couldn't care less about that poor Furb in the background.
Oh yeah, Unai, bye-bye, Nula.
But now I clearly understand why a lot of parents immediately
Stop boo.
hated these things as migraine generators.
Do? Really? Oh yeah, you go, Nula. Stop boo. No way.
Oh my god.
Get out.
If my phone is picking up the ultrasonic, we
Oh yeah.
should be able to
You go,
figure it out.
Nula.
But yeah, they're communicating.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, okay. Oh, that's right. Unai genius, Nula.
Now,
Nulu.
as I Oh, dude, shut it!
Nulu.
As I previously mentioned in another video, right behind the faceplate, there's a port.
Way.
Totally. And it's
Okay. Uh-huh.
an I2C port. Right here.
Hey, like me like. Hey, like to say like. Hey, like.
Oh, these Furbies.
Oh yeah. You go, Nula.
That's an I2C port,
Uh-huh. Hey.
which leads into what they call the Furby VR processor.
Stop boo.
Microcontroller. God, you're so distracting!
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like, okay. Me very happy. Aww.
Ah!
OMG. Dude? Really?
Can you just give me 2 fucking minutes?
Aww.
Ah, just come here. Come here.
Hey, dude, Mela.
If you feel around by the face, you'll notice the crevice where there's a port right there. You can sort of dig your finger in. It may be covered up by the tape used for... Ah. This port is screaming in... Oh, fuck's sake. These Furbies! I think it's done. Okay. Be very, very quiet. Right. So, turns out that the patent says that there's this Furby VR microcontroller, which is, as I've covered in another video, right around here. I'm pretty damn sure. Come on, focus. Right here is an in-circuit serial program. This is how distracted you fucking Furbies have me. You adorable, fluffy, amazing, pieces of hardware. Okay, this is an I2C port that pretty much seems to go directly into the Furby VR microcontroller. Now, I don't know if there are lead-outs to the EEPROM or the blob tops. One of them is going to be for program memory, and one of them is going to be, according to the patent, for voice memory. Hopefully, they're both I2C as well as the 2K EEPROM. My theory here is that their personalities are actually stored in here. So, if you look at the patent, it's kind of crazy about how, with the personality engine, or as I like to call it, the behavior engine or personality engine works. It's basically just a flow chart of a lot of if, then, yes, no, do this, then do that kind of variables and conditionals. But what I find extremely interesting is that there is absolutely nothing that's unique about the voice print, the voice itself. What is creating the personality is nothing more than differences in a flowchart. What I'm interested in is how is it generating its voices, and how can we create a Furby lobotomizer. Okay, so if we have this I2C port directly into the Furby VR, and this is in an offline for tests only Furby, I want to try to dump the contents and do a memory map of this. Also try to dump the blob tops. Now, of course, they're going to be mask ROM. Why is this going to be surface mount? Because we're going to need it rewritable. These blob tops are telling me immediately that these guys are mask ROM only. So one of them is going to have to be for program data. The other one, likely the larger one, is going to be all the vocal data. And when looking at the patent, I also notice a lot of calls for actual text files, .txt files. So, in engineering theory, if you think about it, if, let's say, there are a couple of personalities in here, let's say 10 personalities, right? 10 different voices. It would take less space to put in the various text and phonemes for each individual language rather than record them digitally and parse them through a DSP, which I don't even see. In fact, I'm just curious as to dumping the mask ROM, and can anyone decompile it and tell me what kind of core this is? I know the original Furby used a 6502 core, but this is way more advanced. This is impressive for what the Furby can do. My initial concept is hopefully we can use this I2C port and maybe a little bit of bus sniffing. There's a lot of SPI. The eyes, if you're wondering, yeah, they're just straight SPI displays, nothing fancy about them. I haven't bus sniffed, I haven't logic analyzed, this is all hypothetical theory, but when you look at all the circuitry, it makes sense. So, what I would initially like to do is, now that we know we have this, it's screaming, I'm a debug port, directly in the side of Furby's head, right around here. You can just feel for it. And you'll feel a notch. And, like I shown right here, right, you'll feel a notch underneath the eye socket. And then behind it, there'll be a door. So you just feel around for this notch. And then right behind it, a small little incision right here. Ah, shit. Look what you made me do. Oh, it's got the devil's eyes again.
OMG. You? Really?
Okay. So the point is, if we can interface into that bus and wind up talking to the EEPROM at all, we might be able to make a Furby lobotomizer. But
Sure.
we need to figure out how the Furby VR microcontroller works. God, shut
Whoa,
up.
Walkie, noisy song.
And we haven't even explored the ultrasonic vectors.
Okay, uh-huh.